Launching an application server stack is the next step in deploying a SharePoint website in the Amazon Web Services cloud. You should have already launched the network, Active Directory, and database stacks and created an Amazon machine image of a customized SharePoint application server, as shown in the previous video in this series. This video shows you how to launch the SharePoint application server stack based on the customized SharePoint application server AMI using a CloudFormation sample template. The template is a text file with a .json file extension written in JavaScript Object Notation, or JSON. The AWS CloudFormation service uses the information in it to create a stack of resources. Launching the stack creates an application tier on top of the previously deployed networking, Active Directory, and database infrastructure and joins the application server to the domain. The details of all these procedures are spelled out in the companion document. Before launching the stack, you should have already manually customized the most recently published AMI of Windows Server 2008 R2 English 64-bit base to enable it for CloudFormation. This AMI must include the SharePoint installation files and the PowerShell scripts module for SharePoint in the correct configuration. Record the ID of this new SharePoint application server AMI displayed in the EC2 Management Console to use in the following steps. Also look up and record the following IDs from the Virtual Private Cloud console for input into the template: VPC ID, Application Server Security Group ID, Domain Member Security Group ID, and Application Server Subnet ID. Launch the application stack with Sample Template 3 by mousing over the Launch Stack button in the companion document and clicking the US East, Northern Virginia region. This opens the Create Stack wizard and loads Sample Template 3. The application server will host SharePoint Central Administration and SharePoint Services. You have to provide your own license key or get a trial PID key from Microsoft for a trial or test installation. On the Select Template page, give the stack a name. This example uses APP. In the Provide a Template URL box, template3 appserver.json for the region you chose should already be displayed. Click Continue. On the Specify Parameters page, enter the IDs that you looked up in the VPC console. You can change the defaults for most of the other parameters to match your organizational standards. Check the box labeled I acknowledge that this template may create IAM resources. Click Continue. For this example, you can skip the Add Tags page and click Continue. On the Review page, make sure all the information is correct. If you need to change anything, click the Edit Stack, Edit Parameters, or Edit Notification links. Then click Continue. This launches the stack creation process. Click Close. In CloudFormation Manager, you can follow the progress of stack creation by clicking the Events tab. You can update the page periodically by clicking the Refresh button. When the stack status is Create Complete, click the Outputs tab of the CloudFormation console. The application server NetBIOS name is displayed in the Value column. Record this NetBIOS name and use it to connect to your application server instance via your Remote Desktop Gateway instance using Remote Desktop Protocol to verify that the configuration is correct or to perform other tasks. You've now deployed an application server in the application tier on top of the existing virtual private cloud, network, Active Directory, and database infrastructure. To customize this installation, you can download the CloudFormation template and modify it to meet your requirements. The Advanced Implementation Guide tells you how. The next step in deploying a SharePoint website in the Amazon Web Services cloud is to launch the Web Front-End stack.